In today's video, I am going to be breaking down different 5-on-5 flag football plays that you can use on the defensive side. These are going to be zones and matchup zones, so definitely this will help your team win more games. If you like the idea of me drawing on this app, the app is called PlayBook, and you can get it down in the description below. Okay, so first, what I like to see in this play is to have two red. The red team is on defense. I want to see two red match up against player 3 and player 4 to match up against player 4 blue. Next, we're going to be having player 1. He's going to be either guarding that zone, or you could even have him matching up against player 2. But I would prefer him guarding the zone that's close. Then there's player 5. He's going to be guarding the left back zone, as well as player 3 guarding the right side. This is a little bit more of a aggressive strategy because you're matching up these two players. Let's say these are the two wide receivers that the other team tends to pass a lot to. Now, when these players, let's say they run a route. Let's say he goes up and out. Player 3 is obviously going to be guarding that zone, but player 4 is also guarding that player 2. So now it's essentially double teaming their receivers. Now, while this may sound like a fantastic idea, if the other team's quarterback is able to find other guys who are open, they'll have a field day. But if they are overly passing to their receivers and they're not passing to anybody else, this could be a good zone to try. Another interesting zone that you could try is having player 2 and 4 back and guard zones in the back. We're going to have player 5 guarding a zone as well. And then we're going to have player 1. He's going to be potentially rushing the quarterback if you're in a league that allows that. If you're not, then player 1 is going to be guarding that zone, and player 3, he's going to be guarding whoever the best receiver or the most pass to receiver is. Now you're covering your large areas of the field, but also allowing for your best defender, potentially your fastest player, to guard the other team's receiver who gets passed to the most. Now, in this next zone, very similar to an actual basketball zone, player 1 is going to be guarding a massive, large area. But if the quarterback tends to run out to the right side, he's going to obviously be covering that right side. Player 3 is going to be guarding this whole zone, same as player 2. Player 4 is going to be guarding this wide of a zone. This is a zone that takes a lot of running. Obviously, if the quarterback goes out this way, 1 and 4 are going to be shadowing out to that side as well. And then we have player 5. Player 5 can do one of a few things. We're going to allow the middle of this zone to be wide open because player 4 could always potentially get there. What I want to see with player 5, though, is depending on what's going on. If they tend to pass down here or over in the corners, essentially, then player 5 needs to cover those corners. So if the quarterback runs out to this side, then he needs to cover the close zone or the more distant zone. Or we could guard like this. Basically, player 5 is going to be the flex man where he can flex all over the court or all over the field. In the fourth zone that I'm going to show you, what I want to see is something a little bit different than normal. We're going to have player 5 and 1 split, and they're going to be guarding the zones closest to the sideline. Player 4 is going to be guarding the whole middle section, and player 3 and 2 are going to be guarding the back. The idea here is if teams tend to pass to the side the most, this zone will work most likely the best. And then there's also the Hail Mary, where you start matching up with the players that are going to be guarded, and then you have one safety in a zone roughly in the middle of the field. This is more aggressive. This is more of a man, but still keeping a player in zone. So that way you'll always have a safety in the back in case one of your man defenders gets beat, he can still be there. I hope that these zones help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you like the idea of me writing on this screen, make sure to go check out the PlayBook app that is down in the description below.